Hello, welcome to this edition of Insight with Boluwatiton. The international break is over. Well, mixed feelings or mixed reactions if you are a Nigerian. But we are back to club football, and guess what? We have exciting football matches across the top leagues in Europe. Well, except the Spanish La Liga, where the games are just there. Let's start from the games in the French Ligue 1, where PSG will take on Olympique Lyonnais. That is definitely a game to look out for. Even though Lyon have not been in best of form, they are 10th on the log, whereas PSG, as expected, are top of the league. But one interesting thing, except maybe twice or three times since 2013, Lyon picks at least a point against PSG every season. Either pick away from home or you pick at home. And this time they lost the first leg. So don't be shocked if they decide to shock PSG to pick up at least a draw in the second leg. Moving on to the German Bundesliga, where we have the Klassiker. That's the game between Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund at Allianz Arena. Dortmund's last visit to Allianz Arena in the league, they've conceded 22 goals. So one thing is sure, anytime they go away to play Bayern in the league, they concede lots and lots and lots of goals. This time around, we don't know the kind of Bayern Munich to expect. Remember, they just changed their manager from Julian Nagelsmann to Thomas Tuchel, who we don't know his style this time. Remember, Nagelsmann can play fullbacks as the central defenders and everything. So it's a different ball game entirely with Thomas Tuchel. We don't know his tactics is coming with. We don't know the style is coming with. We don't know if he will bring back the Gnabry to his starting lineup. We don't know if he will push Pavard back to his right back and sit maybe Cancelo on the bench or push him to the left. So these are lots of questions for Thomas Tuchel to answer. The Bayern have started this year especially. They've dropped a few points. At the start, they played 3 straight draws, but they are still not far behind, just 1 point. They know that a win for Bayern Munich takes them back to the top of the table. Borussia Dortmund, on the other hand, they had a great start to the year, won lots and lots of games consecutively until they lost to Chelsea. Then the following game, they still failed to win, but they bounced back in their last game before the international break, which sent them to the top of the table because Bayern Munich lost. Bayern need to bounce back. They need a win. They need a result. Like people say, the Bundesliga is like their birthright. But against Dortmund, despite the change in coach, change in everything, I still believe they have everything it takes to win this game. To the Italian Serie A, where we have, well, you can call them runaway leaders, Napoli against their Champions League quarterfinal opposition, AC Milan. A fun fact, the last 8 meetings between these two sides in the league, there's been no home win. Yes, you heard me right. The last 8 meetings between two sides in the Serie A, there has been no home wins. It's always a draw or an away win. This time around, Napoli, high-flying Napoli, who could be without Victor Osimhen? Because we are hearing some reports about him having enough. But of course, they still have the Kivichak Kvaratskhelia, who is probably the best player in the Serie A this season. Napoli have won all the player of the month this season. Osimhen for January, Kvaratskhelia for February and March. These guys are balling. I think if Osimhen doesn't play this game, he'll be a big miss. And this will be like an audition for AC Milan to know what to expect in the UEFA Champions League. Napoli, they are painting the town of Naples blue already because it's about when they win the league, not if. In this encounter, you should still expect them to maybe break that jinx of home teams not winning. This is the game you think probably a narrow win for the home side, or even Milan could find a way to get a draw on this one. Let's move to the English Premier League before we get to the main fixture. Looking at Arsenal taking on Leeds United, a win for Arsenal will be very important in this game because City have a tough task. But before we move to City, let's talk about the games at St. James's Park, where Newcastle, the best defensive team in the Premier League, will take on high-flying Manchester United, the team with the most goals post-World Cup. We don't know how fit Rashford will be for this game, even though I think he'll be fit. I believe the stories of the knock, everything is probably to make him avoid the international. But Rashford in this game would spell doom for Newcastle. Newcastle, they found a way to bounce back. Now they are taking on the high-flying Man United at home. Newcastle are a team that they don't mind playing for a draw. A win for Newcastle automatically takes them above Man United. Level of points or better goals difference. United need to pick at least a draw in this game to maintain their stance. I think this game would definitely be an interesting encounter to look out for on Super Sunday. But the pick of the bunch has to be the match at the Etihad Stadium between Liverpool going away to play Manchester City. The interesting thing is people talk about how Jurgen Klopp has good numbers against Pep. But those good numbers are in cup games, whether Carabao Cup or FA Cup or Community Shield or the UEFA Champions League. But in the league, Liverpool have struggled to beat Man City. They don't beat City all the time in the league. The best they get is a draw. Remember last season, home and away ended 2-2. This time around, going on to the second leg, Man City know they must win. Not they must win this game if they want to have a chance of defending their Premier League title this season. Anything other than a win for Man City, I think they can kiss the Premier League title goodbye. So this game at the Etihad, even though we are hearing some reports that Man City could be without Erling Braut Haaland, if the reports are true, I think this would be a big miss for them. But before we wrap up, let's do our recap on all the games for the weekend. PSG against Lyon. Whew. PSG with lots of injuries. Neymar out, Sergio Ramos injured, Marquinhos injured, Kimpembe injured. Yes, going forward, there's still, of course, Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. I think this game is going to be a narrow win for PSG or a draw. Moving to the Klassiker in the German Bundesliga, I think Bayern Munich should do enough to edge Dortmund in this encounter. In the Napoli game versus AC Milan, well, I think it should still be a straight win for Napoli. The best Milan can get is maybe a narrow draw. And the game at the Etihad, Liverpool will ball, Liverpool will play. They've been struggling so far this season, so I think I'll give all 3 points to Pep Guardiola's side. So that's our show for today. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Your subscription is definitely free. So we come here another time. Have a beautiful sporting weekend. Bye.